And we are back with another Vendetta Sports Daily Show. I'm Griffin Kress. I'm joined by Jackson Fida. Today is July 20th, 2023. How are you doing today, Jackson?
I'm good. I'm good. A little change of pace for me with the background. I'm in my girlfriend's room in Chicago right now, so
Yeah,
looking forward to doing a show from here.
exactly. I mean, where are you beforehand?
Reno, Nevada.
Reno, Nevada.
Yeah.
Big change of pace. So are you just there for a little bit of summer or you go to school in Nevada?
No, I lived there. Like grew
Oh,
up
you
there.
do?
Yeah. So then I'm slowly making my way back to school. I'm spending 3 days here in Chicago and then going 2 hours south to Peoria, and then I'm there till at least Thanksgiving. So
Love to hear it.
yeah.
All right, so I know Jackson, you're an intern. I was an intern in last semester's class, so during kind of the spring school semester. So how far, so far, we're getting towards the end of the semester, which like new interns and all that. How do you like it so far here at Vendetta?
I like it a lot, especially like I get to do all the writing and stuff, and I get to do this. I kind of like that it's like I have a little bit of creative freedom.
Hmm.
Obviously, like there's stuff that Trey wants us to write about, like put in the chats and you take those, but you can kind of add your own take on it, your own spin. Like when I'm doing so I mainly cover soccer. So when I do like
Hmm.
a player who's signing with somewhere else, I can attack in a few different ways. I can talk about their history leading up to it, how they got there, which I did last night with Oriol Romeu going to Barca. If it's someone that I feel like people don't know a lot about, like Kim Min Jae, who I
Hmm.
think is one of the best center backs in the world, who just went to Bayern Munich, I can kind of talk about what makes them so good, like talk about their characteristics, all this stuff, whether it's a good signing or not. Link highlight videos, so that's another route. And then another route is I can just kind of yeah, like I kind of said earlier, allude to whether it's a good signing or not. So I kind of like that I have the freedom to do that. But
Hmm.
it's not just like player signings. I can cover all this other stuff. Like I've done like tournament previews for like the Gold Cup, the U20 World Cup. Get to talk about those different games. So I kind of like that it's like I have a lot to write about and I could kind of choose how to attack each thing differently and add my own kind of spin on it. So I'm really liking that I'm able to do that.
I like that. I like the response. So Trey chiming in here, of course. Griff, do you watch soccer? I'm not a soccer kid. I always grew up as just plain just hockey kid. I played a lot of sports when I was a kid, but I never played soccer. I feel like that was always just like my family and just you're not gonna play soccer. Like soccer's for just kind of I don't know like a weaker sport necessarily. I'm not gonna hate on it, but I mean I was always a hockey kid, football, like basketball, baseball, like so I did it all pretty much, and pretty much soccer. But Trey, short answer, I do not watch soccer. I know a little bit about it, not too much to like really go in depth. Uh, Holland. I mean, I know all like the big stars, but other than that, I really can't name any of the guys that Jackson's really talking about. So I'm lost. It's kind of like me in baseball. So
Hey, that's like
those two sports, but yeah,
I can't do baseball to save my life.
I
Like
can't either.
honestly, I grew up playing soccer, basketball, I'll ski. Didn't play football, but love it. Like love everything. Hate baseball with a pat. Hate watching baseball. Hate playing it. Love going to the games though. That's the one thing I can do is go to
Yeah, with
any
it,
baseball game.
I feel like going to baseball games is so much different than actually playing in them.
Yeah.
So I feel like when I was younger, I hated going to MLB games, but I went to a Twins game this summer, and with the new pitch clock, it's so much nicer.
Really.
I felt like you're not gonna sit around there for 4 to 5 hours and just like watch absolutely nothing. And the Twins are terrible. Like they are so boring to watch because they have no just hitting this year at all. But back in like 2020, they were just nuking balls out of there, and it was so much fun to watch. But I mean, I'm just so dead on baseball. I
Mhm.
just cannot watch it at all
Yeah,
anymore.
same here. I
Yeah.
I'm going to a Cubs game. What is it? Yeah, tomorrow though. So I mean that should be fun because again, going to the baseball games is fun, but in terms of watching it on TV, man, I can't do it. I'd rather watch golf. I used to hate golf, and I'd much rather watch golf. Ever since I watched that Full Swing documentary, I have been very interested in it. They got me hooked. I don't even play it, but like I
Yeah.
feel like we'll watch it. Like especially the the big stuff. Like I was huge into the Masters last year, which has never happened.
Really.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I mean, like, I feel like golf is just kind of revolutionizing itself, even with like Live and like even them like combining now with like the DP World Tour too. And I'm a golfer. I kind of started in like COVID, but I've always been a hockey kid, so I kind of had the swing. But I mean, it's been so interesting these last like few years. Just like the media is destroying in the golf world. Like Rory McIlroy, he's I don't know if he's not Scottish, but he's
Northern
almost English, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's been kind of the voice for the PJ Tour, and he absolutely hates Live.
That's
So
awesome.
if they had anything on him on full swing, that
Mhm.
would be one of the episodes for the ages.
It's the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a character in the community, and he's almost kind of pushing towards like more involvement in the media rather than just like playing. I know he just won the Scottish Open, but I mean, it seems like he just cares more about like Live and all that. But shout out to Roy. I mean, I like where he stands at. But
I agree.
Trey, chime in again. Have a good stream as usual. Jackson's Post been picking up steam for July. Love to hear that. Love to
Yes.
hear that. So, I mean, you sound like me, Jackson, when I was an intern. I mean, even like at night, like you said before we got on stream, that you're pumping out the post late at night.
Hmm.
And how do you like just kind of being able to do like whatever you want? And I know you say you may get like overwhelmed at times on the soccer chat just because not a lot of people are
Yeah.
helping out on that. But do you like kind of your creativity on just the whole Vendetta idea and just being able to put in your own opinion?
Yeah, I do. And it's not like, again, like we have stuff that he wants us to write about, but he doesn't tell us how to write about it, which is what I really like. I
Hmm.
kind of approach it whichever way. So it depends on the day and how I'm feeling. Like there's one day, there's like, you probably don't know who this is, but Steven Gerrard, former Liverpool player, he's going to be a man. He's a manager, and
Hmm.
he was came out strong. It's like I will never go to Saudi Arabia. I will never do that. I'm not going to do that. And then the next day, he went and did that, and
No
said,
way.
yeah, and said it was because
What?
he said it was because of the family feeling that he got over there. And I was like, bro, that is absolute bullshit.
In Saudi?
I'm like, there's no family feeling over there unless the family feeling is the feeling your pockets are going to get. So I kind of like just went off on that post. It turned into, I started it out as a news post, and as I started writing it, just turned into a full on rant. And it
Oh,
worked. It got published. So yeah,
I mean, that's what I love. I mean, I love working for Vendetta. I love like I've always liked writing and just think just getting my own creative spin on everything. Like even the Stafford post I wrote yesterday, just like how they're probably gonna post like or just like the Rams are gonna trade Stafford, which doesn't make any sense to me. And I kind of went on like a little rant like at the end of like why would you do that? You're like if you're gonna trade Stafford, trade the entire team. I'm sorry. Like, don't waste Cooper Cups or like Aaron Donald's like few years that they have with the team and just blow it up. I mean, they've just been so mediocre for the past 2 years, and that might be just because Stafford is hurt, but still they're not going to win a Super Bowl anytime soon again. So, I mean, yeah. I've also have been kind of cooking this one Kobe Bryant article. I don't know if you're in the. Are you in the NBA chat?
I'm not.
You're not.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was a while back. I think it was like a month or two ago, and we got Vendetta got in this debate with I think Chickster with Garrett. I think like almost everyone was in it in the NBA chat. Like it was popping off, and I say Kobe Bryant is the most overrated basketball player of all time. That got
Dude,
heated,
that's like blasphemous.
but I'm a big Kobe hater. I always have been, and I don't know like why. I just love the mama mentality, but I'm sorry, I just can't get behind like how great he is and being a top 10 player of all time. He's not. Like he's borderline 10, I would say. There's tons of players better than him, but I really can't get in that top 10 category because I know everyone will absolutely hate on me. Because
Yeah,
no matter what, if you put out a list of best NBA players in the league right now or all time, not everyone's gonna agree. There's no one. I'm a LeBron. Like I love LeBron. I think he's better than MJ, but everyone's gonna like hate on me on that.
nah,
I can tell by your reaction
no, no, no,
that
no.
exactly.
I could see kind of the Kobe one, but no, that one's crazy. That one's crazy to me.
It is. I mean, it gets attention though. Like when I finish it, I'm at like I think 700 words, and I'm on the first paragraph. Like I'm gonna rant on this man. Like it is. I'm backing up every single point. My first paragraph's literally like 500 to 700 words already,
Mm,
and that thing might be over 2,000 words. Like that thing is gonna be a beefy. That's gonna be like an essay for school.
yeah, jeez.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a. I don't like Kobe. I'm gonna keep it real. Like I do not like him at all. I don't know why. I just have never liked him.
Dude, I don't, just the way, like his mentality though, is so elite. Like you said, the Mamba mentality, you can't hate on that.
No, I can't. I love the Mamba mentality. I'm all for it, but I just can't get behind him as a player, and just, I don't understand why people think he's like so great even after like he passed away. They almost think he's better now since like he
Well,
passed.
I mean that kind of happens though. It's like the when someone dies, you suddenly give them more credit for something just because. Like it's true. Like
No,
art,
it is true. It is true.
sports, like everything. But
I mean, you're not wrong.
yeah, man.
It's a screwed up way to talk about it, but I mean, we're
So
not wrong at all.
who would your top 10 be then?
My top 10: LeBron, MJ, Kareem, say Magic Johnson might be up there. It's probably four, but I'll have to like look at a list of players.
You gotta have,
Not in order, but Wilt, Larry Bird,
yeah.
Steph Curry. Um, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on so many names right now. Tim Duncan.
Okay.
Uh, I need to get like a list and then I can cook. But what?
You're not putting Shaq up there?
Oh no, Shaq's ahead of Kobe,
Shaq
100%.
had to go, yeah.
Shaq's ahead of Kobe. If if Shaq wasn't on the Lakers, Kobe would not have a ring. Kobe would not have a ring right now. Maybe two, but like I just don't think that like they're three-peat. If Kobe was alone, I like he would not win like a single ring without him. I feel like, but that's just my opinion.
All right, all right.
I'm a as you know, if you know like Jackson, like this is like our first time talking about. If you can
Mm.
get anything out of this conversation, I am a certified Kobe hater, and I will be always.
See, my only problem with the guy was the whole rape incident. So that kind of like
That's what doesn't get talked about any
no
like
one
at
ever.
all.
I find that crazy because when you think about stuff other athletes have done, they can't come back from it. But Kobe literally raped someone in a hotel, got away with it. I know he's innocent, but like,
But still, that doesn't get talked about
and
at
then
all.
yeah, no one ever brings that up, which I kind of find crazy because you're complete. Because if we just wanted to talk about sports in general and not talk about people's personal lives, I'd be all for that. But that's just not how we work. We always
Yeah.
incorporate what they do off the court, off the field, whatever, with
Hmm.
what they do on the field. But yeah, with Kobe, it's like none of that mattered. Like he didn't even
Exactly.
worry about like a redemption thing, like regaining public favor. I think it kind of went down a little bit, but then like it just never was like a thing.
No, it wasn't. I mean, like it was barely in the news. I feel like
Yeah,
at all in that time,
which is
and I mean,
crazy.
it
But
was just like crazy.
because then like, you see all these like now it's like any little thing someone does, it's in the
Hmm.
newspaper. They're blasted.
Oh,
They're ruined. I
they're
like
canceled.
yeah, they're canceled. I'm thinking like in soccer, you probably don't know who this is, but Benjamin Mendy,
Heard
uh,
of them? Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
accused of multiple rape charges. All of them got
Hmm.
dropped. Granted, I still think the dude's a scumbag, and he probably did do it and just didn't get charged. But his
Yeah.
like think about it, like his career is completely ruined even though he just
Hmm.
signed a new team, like it's ruined and his reputation is forever ruined. But then like Kobe's not at all.
Yeah. I mean, like if I had to like think about like two athletes that had kind of the same thing, is Patrick Kane,
Mm,
who like
mhm.
back in when was it? It was like probably right after their kind of Stanley Cup, just like kind of era, and that like came out, and it was shocking me. I mean, like Patrick Kane's a good guy. Like I don't condone like if he did or not. Like I don't know, but like he paid her off or something, or like she just won the check.
Yeah.
And then you definitely know who this is, Sean Oakman.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you know his story about a Baylor and being a D lineman?
I don't.
Okay. So he was like one of the best ranked NFL prospects back in like the 2010s. And he was having a monster season at Baylor. He was an absolute specimen of a human being. He was like 6'5" and like he was just so bulky. He looked like he was on like steroids and he was ripped. And then a rape charge goes on him and his NFL career just gone. Like he just did not play football. And I think like 15 years later, he was finally he finally found out that it like he didn't do it at all. He was
Mhm.
playing in the CFL, won like the CFL Cup or something, and just he's just not an NFL guy anymore. Like he would have been one of the best, like to come out of college, and like that just derailed his career.
Yeah.
But
Jeez. Yeah.
yeah,
You hear like stuff like that, but then like again, like Kobe's just basically breezed through it,
exactly.
which is like I just don't know how that worked. Like I feel like we pick and choose who we want to go after for stuff like this. I think like
Hmm.
now it's like we're in that era where everyone gets it, they go after everyone as soon as there's an
Yeah.
allegation. So I
Hmm.
guess if it's happened to Kobe like now versus back then, probably would have been different. But I still find it crazy that, especially with all the attention we have on stuff like that now, that no one actually brings that up.
Yeah.
I feel like
No.
that's an important thing to talk about since that's what we as a culture have decided to incorporate with our sports talk. So
Hmm.
I've just found that that's my one beef with the guy. I loved him as a player. I think he was pretty friggin' elite. And again, the mentality aspect was
Yeah.
crazy. But
I'm not saying Kobe's not elite, but I just don't. I think he's overrated. That's my whole stand on
I could see that. And it's a recency bias as well. Like
it.
a
Hmm.
lot of people didn't grow up watching those guys, especially now,
Yeah.
and they don't think to go back and watch highlights or listen to people who watch them play. So like you're
Yeah.
obviously gonna think the guys now are better. Like I'm just thinking
Yeah.
like soccer terms in 10 years, people aren't gonna be talking about Messi and Ronaldo like the new kids. They're gonna be talking about like Mbappe versus Holland maybe still
Yeah.
being like
Exactly.
players. And someone's probably gonna say Mbappe is the best player of all time. So I guess it's just like a change over time. So recency bias has probably helped out Kobe's case a little bit.
Oh, has to. Let me ask you this. I know like you just said like Messi, Ronaldo, and like Mbappe and Holland. It's kind of like the MJ and LeBron debate. Who do you have between Messi and Ronaldo?
Messi
Who do
is
you
like
think is better? Messi?
Ronaldo's the best player on the planet. Messi's from a different planet. Like when he plays, man, it's so like he's just naturally built to
Yeah.
play soccer. And I have a theory that he's got a small level of like autism that makes him super super good at soccer. Like just incredibly gifted or something in his head because it makes no sense how he's that good. He's literally done stuff that has been like proven physically impossible with
Yeah.
how fast he's dribbling and how close the ball is to him. Like you don't
Hmm.
do that unless you're just completely special at it.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
like he's got some weird gift that has just made him so good. Like
Hmm.
he obviously worked for it too, but like Ronaldo has worked harder than just about anyone else.
Yeah.
But he's got the Mamba mentality when it comes to soccer. Like I don't
Uh,
think anyone has ever worked harder than him.
hmm.
And he's damn good, but man, Messi's just he's unreal. Like in the
Yeah.
stuff, it's just unreal. And now that he got the
Hmm.
World Cup, I don't even think it should be an argument. Like
Oh,
that was
yeah.
what I was trying to say at the time. And like there's still those Ronaldo fanboys. And all the Ronaldo fanboys are these kids who want to be as good looking as him. They think it's cool to just kind of have that instead of actually being good at soccer. That's what I've noticed. They don't
Hmm.
have arguments. That's just what it is. But yeah, dude, Messi won that argument in the World Cup. I already was saying he was way better
Hmm.
for years because when you watch him, it's just something else.
Yeah.
Like you can achieve what Ronaldo achieved, I think. Obviously,
Hmm.
you have to be fast, athletic, all that. But someone could become another Ronaldo. I don't think anyone's ever going to be another Messi.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree. I'm not like a soccer as you know, as like I feel like everyone knows that I'm just not a soccer kid. But watching him in that World Cup, I watched every single Argentina game because I knew damn well how good Messi was.
Mhm.
And he proved me just really that he's even better than what I thought. Like that World Cup run was insane. Like probably the best, like one of the best sports performances I've ever seen in my life.
And he
And that
was
was
doing
like,
as an older player who's had to kind of change how he approaches games because he doesn't have the
mhm,
leg. And that's
yeah,
another thing I find it. He's kind of finding a better way to adapt, I think. Ronaldo just went out bitching and moaning
yeah,
with his European career. Obviously,
mhm,
Messi didn't have a great time at PSG because he honestly just didn't give a shit, which
mhm,
I don't really blame him. He didn't even want to be there.
yeah,
He's there to get the check and maybe win if he could. But
mhm,
I feel like just Messi's found a better way to keep playing, and I think that's just because he's a better player,
mhm,
able to adapt more as time goes on and kind of change his playing style. Dude, and
yeah,
now he's in the MLS. Whew, gonna be so awesome. He might debut tomorrow. That's
really,
I'm so hyped about that. I'm gonna piss my girlfriend off. I'm gonna be like, I'm watching this game from this to this. We'll do something fun after that. But
yeah.
that's gonna be monumental.
Oh, it has to be. I mean, that's gonna be all over, just everywhere tomorrow. I might even watch that honestly, just because I don't know what channel it'll be on, but I know damn well I'm gonna be watching that just to watch Messi play.
Who are they playing?
But
Playing Cruz Azul. So it's gonna be MLS versus Liga MX, Messi. It's gonna be a fun game to watch, man. It's gonna be a hype. The internet's gonna be going crazy. MLS,
oh,
dude, and I always go in these like Reddit soccer chats. They're gonna be
mhm.
lighting up with all the American fans like me who just go in there.
Oh, I mean that'll be even during the World Cup, the American fans were just unreal, and now that they have Messi just like in their country,
Mhm.
that's gonna be a new level. But like what you said before, with like kind of Messi changing like his game throughout his career, I almost like would compare him to like a LeBron in a sense, just because I feel like over time LeBron just kind of he became more of a passer. He was more explosive on the Heat, but as like he got older, he went into the post more, and he just I feel like had a much more well-rounded game and kind of adapted to his playing style and the people playing around him too, kind of like how Messi has in a way.
Mhm.
So I mean that's what I instantly kind of thought of when you said that, just because I think MJ really didn't kind of adapt. He was
Yeah.
just always just so dominant in one way, kind of like how Ronaldo was, and then how LeBron just kind of changed his play style as like more modernized it, and just even got better in just all around aspects of his game. So,
I'm gonna give Ronaldo a little credit. When he was younger, it was all these tricks, all this
mhm,
stuff, and then when he moved to Madrid, he became more of a goal scorer and just
yeah,
more of that rather than doing all the tricks. So he kind of altered it like in that way. He became better.
hmm,
But yeah, with age, it just he kind of fell off a little bit. Like he still was playing insanely well at the age of like 35.
hmm,
So like he thinks in respect, he still did do well in old age. I just think
yeah,
he's done a better job.
hmm.
So you think LeBron, going back to the LeBron Jordan thing, because I'm kind of curious about this, who at the peak of their power was better? Because you're saying LeBron's able
Ooh,
to adjust his game
are
more.
we
He's
are we
definitely
talking about?
had a career, but
Yeah, are we talking about just like all around type of player?
yeah, and just at the peak of their power, who's better?
I think you take just what LeBron did in the 2018 just kind of finals. He put that backpack on with the Cavaliers, and he was averaging like 35-point triple doubles. He was putting up 40 points every single game. Jordan can do that anytime he wants. He can drop all the points he wants. But I think what LeBron just kind of separates him what from himself from Jordan is his passing and his rebounding. I think LeBron, just as a passer, is unreal. He's already, I think, top five in
Hmm.
like passing and assist leaders of all time in NBA history. Let alone he's going to be top 10, top five in rebounds. He's already first in points. I mean, I think just his overall game would beat Jordan. I'm not saying he would win one on one or anything like that, but I think what determines a better player is just their overall skill set of that person. I think basketball is a team game. Championships take championships out the window. So I think that record of Jordan being 6-0 in the finals is kind of stupid. That's like saying Bill Russell is the best player of all time if you say championships.
Yeah,
Like, isn't that kind of stupid?
yeah, no, I agree. And you're not
Exactly.
throw JaVale McGee into an elite conversation. If that's
Exactly.
the case, yeah.
Yeah, I know. That's like saying like I mean Jeremy Lin has one ring now, Like that's like saying he's better than Luka Doncic all time
Yeah.
or something like that. And I think it was Patrick McCaw or someone who won two finals with the Warriors and then one with the Raptors and then one the following year. I think he has four chips now. Is he better, like almost as good as Steph Curry? No, he's not at all. And that's the stupid point. What I hate about kind of what Jordan fans do. LeBron has four rings, and he doesn't have six, but still, it's a team game. I think his accomplishments in going down 3-1 in those Miami championships and with the Lakers are some of the two best championships ever in NBA history. I know everyone says it's the bubble, it's a Mickey Mouse ring, but let's be real. That was pretty impressive. And I think being away from kind of like your family and even being in a neutral area kind of puts more pressure on it in a sense. And I think just all that kind of the anxiety of just not being kind of in your home area, not being comfortable in that scenario, I think makes it a lot better just because it's unprecedented. We won't ever have another NBA bubble. I hope not. But again, and I think coming back from 3-1 is the best NBA championship of all time. And I feel like that's not up for debate. What that man did in that finals, in the 2016 finals, is unheard of. And that's my LeBron take on it.
Yeah. No,
I could rant about this all day, but got to
I
keep it short for a little bit.
those are good points. I'll give you that. I still think I'm going MJ at the peak. I just
Hmm.
do stuff that just unreal.
Yeah.
And there's probably a little bit of bias on my side because my dad just grew up telling me MJ, 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 MJ. So
Hmm.
like that's like in the back of my head as well. But
Exactly.
so that plays a part as well. But also
Hmm.
anyone who says that the bubbles and Mickey Mouse championship is crazy, in my opinion, because like you said, they're away from their home. And also that kind of feels like it's more like the actual best team is going to win because you're on a
Exactly.
neutral court. So,
Hmm.
like, there's no home court advantage. There's none
Hmm.
of that coming into play. It's literally just basketball.
Exactly.
So there's not.
They're
So
just they're
that's
just hooping. Like they're
so.
they're just playing, dude.
So I don't know how you can say like that. Like whenever anyone says that, like, "Oh, Mickey Mouse championship," like, no, that was just basketball. Like literally just pure basketball. There's no outside. I mean, there's obviously outside influence with like the pandemic and stuff, but like no home court fans. You don't have to travel further than someone else. You don't have to stay in a hotel compared to someone staying in their home. So like it was none of that. It was literally all equal playing field and they won. So anyone who complains about that, I always find that interesting because it's like what everyone else was in the bubble
Hmm.
and they all
You're
had the same stuff.
yeah,
And one team just was better at winning with the same conditions than the others. That's just how.
exactly. Like no matter what, the best team would win the bubble. For the
Mhm.
Celtics, for the Nuggets, for the Heat, and it was the Lakers. But they played the best out of anyone. They like showed just kind of LeBron and AD showed that they're like some of the two best players in the world in that playoffs. So I think it's not up for debate at all. And I think someone who just says that like the bubble was kind of a Mickey Mouse ring is just hating, honestly,
Yeah, no, they are.
hating 100%. And they're probably just like a Jordan, just kind of like a meat rider or just whatever like that. I mean, I'm keeping it real. Like that's what they would say.
Yeah.
But I'm not hating that Jordan at all. I respect Jordan as a player. I may not respect his gambling addiction, him getting kicked out of the league pretty much. But I mean, he was a damn good player. He was the first or second best player of all time, and I feel like that it's kind of the MJ LeBron debate is almost kind of stupid in a sense. We can have that like during if they played together. I feel like played against each other a lot, but I feel like after the fact that LeBron is in his last years in the NBA, it's just like, can we just respect the like him because we're not gonna be able to see him on a court like in what like 5 years or less.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
that's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Do you think he plays a couple years with Bronny and then just says nah at
I
that
think he
point?
has to. I think
Yeah.
he has to. That would be so cool if he got in the court with Bronny. I mean, that would be like what the first time ever uh playing with someone's like son in the NBA.
I'm not sure, but it feels like it have to because you have to be to play with your son. Hey, you got to be a baller, but not just
Hmm.
you got to be able to last until you're about 40.
Yeah.
Then B, your son's got to be a baller. So there's a lot that
Exactly.
goes into play. I'm still
Hmm.
curious to see how good Bronny actually is because I feel like he's been hyped up a lot because of his dad.
Oh, I agree.
So at USC next year, I'm really curious to see how he plays
Hmm.
because I have a feeling that he's going to be overhyped and he'll still make it to the league, but that's just so some team can get LeBron for a couple of years. Like that's why his draft stock will be so high.
Yeah.
I could be completely hating and he could be absolutely legit. I honestly don't know. I don't watch a lot of high school clips besides the
Yeah.
occasional overtime clips that show up on my phone. So he could be an absolute baller, but I'm really
Hmm.
curious to see how he plays next year. Because if he's good and you can get him and LeBron, whew, that'd be a
That'd be unreal.
pretty good draft.
And like exactly. I mean, you'd have to give up so much because you would probably have to trade for LeBron if his contract ends, but he'll most likely re-sign with Lakers for like probably one more year after, just so Bronny can get drafted, and then he can see what team he goes to.
Mhm.
But I'm like you said, I'm so interested in see what Bronny can really kind of bring to the table because I always thought he was a little bit overhyped. I saw him in person play against I think it was Chet Holmgren and Jalen Suggs while they're at Minnehaha at Target Center. He looked all right. He didn't look like, whoa, he's going to be an NBA star. But that was when he was kind of a freshman or a sophomore, though.
Yeah,
So, I mean, he's gotten a lot better since, but I hope he does well because I think it'd be so cool to just see him just being a top 10 pick. But, I mean, that talent in that class with them is unreal. He's
dude.
got a really good class with them. So it's going to be hard for him to really kind of get a good draft position while still maintaining a good team. I think it'd be even better if he almost fell in the draft, just so he goes to a better team, and then LeBron like goes to that team. So I think that'll be like really fun, just because I think if he goes to like what the Rockets or something, and LeBron goes to Rockets, that'll be boring. Like they won't do anything. They have like too many young guys, and I mean, I feel like they just won't do anything in the playoffs, and it won't be really like cool to watch like them play together if they're just gonna get taken away shots from all the young guys. So yeah,
Yeah. Cleveland return. That's got to be it.
Cleveland return would be sick.
I'm
Donovan Mitchell, Garland, LeBron, Bronny, like that would be a sick team. That
yeah.
would be a really nice team.
That's what I'm
As a
saying.
Celtics fan, I would probably die. I would probably hate that, but
I'm a
I
Cavs
mean,
fan. I'm a Cavs
oh,
fan.
you are a Cavs fan?
I
Okay.
gotta go. Like, I'm not a huge NBA fan, but I'm a
Hmm.
Cavs fan because my dad's from Youngstown, Ohio, so right around there. So
Yeah.
always grew up a Cavs fan. So if he goes back, I might actually start watching the games more. That would be
The
so.
return, the return part two.
Mm-hmm. And then
That'd be
when
so cool.
he won another ring, that's literally storybook ending.
Oh, has to be. You just call it quits. I would retire after that ring.
Oh
You
yeah,
have to.
yeah.
Like win a championship with your son, let
Mhm.
alone play with him and win your fifth ring. That would be so cool.
Yeah, in your
That'd be
back
unreal.
too. In where you,
Exactly. You're back home, just
oh,
retire after that, stay in Ohio. Like I feel like you're chilling after that.
dude,
So
that's what we gotta hope for. It's
gotta
not
hope
gonna
for.
happen, but would be awesome.
I'm fine. Honestly, I'm fine if the Celtics lose that year. If they lose, like don't get a championship, just to see LeBron win that. I think that'd be like even better.
I think it'd be sick, yeah, to watch him just go out a champ.
Hmm.
'Cause I feel like he's deserved it. Like he
Yeah.
deserves one last ring.
Hmm. I agree.
I don't know
I
if the
think I think four doesn't really suit him. I think getting a fifth one would be really cool. I feel like.
well, five just looks so much better than four.
Oh, it does.
Just
100%.
astronomically. Because I
Yeah.
don't know what it is, but once you get like you keep going up by fives, I feel like it just looks astronomically better than the one. So like if you were to get 10 instead of nine, it already looks better. So if he just gets
It
that
does.
instead of fourth, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why, just like an odd number for rings just seems so much better than an even one.
Three,
Like I
five,
don't know why.
whatever.
Three,
Yeah.
5, 7. That's like perfect. I mean, who knows? But we have hit the almost a 35-minute mark, Jackson. We said we would get around this. So, is there anything else you want to talk about? I know we've been kind of roaming around, just topics. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we end her off today?
Not really.
We're
No.
good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right. So today is July 20th, 2023. I'm Griffin Kress, being alongside Jackson Fida. So it was a pleasure talking to everyone here. So make sure to check out all our socials at Vendetta. Make sure to check out the posts, and we will see you guys tomorrow.